Like, I really didn't have friends as a kid. I just play with myself, like trying to catch butterfly.
Growing up quick.
Not that.
Should I break up with my girlfriend because she's depressed?
Yep.
This is your daily catch-up. Good
Just
advice. Good advice.
Yeah. Faster, move on. Boom.
So recently we've done an episode with a question from Pai Say Questions Telegram group.
Ooh.
And y'all seem to like it, so here's another one, but
More paiseh questions.
more Pai Say question, but this one more deep.
Oh, I like it.
So very
deep.
paiseh lah.
Confession number C374. Girlfriend broke up with me due to depression. My girlfriend, now ex, and I met online a few months ago, and it was a very healthy and happy relationship. We are both adults and mature, liked each other's families a lot, and talked about our futures. Green flag, green flag, green flag.
But then,
Thing is, she has had depression since childhood, and just a couple of weeks ago, she told me that she may be relapsing and has given me signals that her mental health was declining. Then, a week ago, she broke up with me because she felt like she needed to heal and learn to love herself before she was able to love somebody again. We still love each other very much, but the relationship still ended this way. I fought for it a few times, but she couldn't handle it anymore. Eventually, I chose to give her space and told her not to text me again until she starts to feel better or if anything major happens in her life. We still keep each other's contact names and Instagram posts. We even have each other's locations on Find My Phone.
What's
friend.
FMF?
Find My
Find My
Friends.
Friends.
Okay.
Ooh.
I have faith that we will eventually get back together when the time is right. Has anyone gone through something similar before? Does the relationship prevail in the end? What should you do in these situations?
wow. To get this straight, so she is the one with depression and she was the one that broke up.
But I think she was probably in a much better place when they got together.
Yeah.
As he described in like the first paragraph, right? But after that, not sure what happened or whether it was out of nowhere, right? That her mental health was declining again. But I thought it was so interesting that she had that awareness to like preempt him about it, you know?
Yeah, I mean, we're getting it quite one-sided. Like, it's his story. I think like the thing that suddenly sparkled to me was that he said, oh, we were in a very happy relationship, which to me, like Sunny said, 500 Days of Summer, you know, is it like just your point of view? But I mean, if we just assume that whatever he said was true, I think it's very fair that like she just needed some time off and she doesn't want to drag him down maybe in the path that she's about to take, because maybe she really just needs some time alone to figure herself out first, to find herself before she can be ready for whether it's him or like someone else in a different relationship. Where I think it becomes very dicey if the situation was that if she had depression and then he cannot take it and then he wanted to break up. I feel like in this situation it's quite fair.
I feel like it's very difficult, right? Because getting into a relationship, say you like somebody, right? And then you get to know them better, and then this is one of the things that they share with you. If, say, you've never been in a relationship or have somebody that you are close to that has depression or any other mental issues or any other challenges for that matter, right? Like, you won't know whether you can handle it. You know what I mean? So, in this situation, I really don't know if there is a better way to handle things or if anybody is really at fault lah. To me lah. Yeah.
I wonder if I'm not sure whether relationship breaks work. Like, so it's not a breakup, right? It's maybe like let's take a month apart and then like come back later. But I mean, she wanted to break up.
But in this context, right, it does indicate that they continued texting, and then in the end, he kind of said that I think it's better if we don't contact each other.
No, but it's also his point of view that he fought for the relationship. So it sounds like she wanted to break up, but then he felt like, I can support you through this, or like you don't have to go through this without me. You know what I mean? So he wanted to convince her, but to her, right, the mental capacity of being in a relationship could have been too much to handle. Even on a break lah, where there's like maybe still this guy like in your peripherals and all that.
Yeah. So I think by the time he was the one that said, I think you should like just take some time off me for a second. I think that's also fair, because after you fight for something for so long, it will take a toll on him also to realize like, I'm stressing over this when maybe the best thing for us is just not to talk to each other. And so I think it's all very above board and very mature, but from both of them actually.
I'm just wondering if any of us here have had any similar experiences with mental health and a relationship.
I think there was one relationship that I was in where prior to that relationship, right, I knew nothing about depression. Like when my friends talk to me about depression, I'm like, let me just be happy lah, you know. And I think I mentioned this before also. But after going through that relationship, the relationship was actually what caused like us to go into depression because of how toxic it was. And
And
then
then before that, both of you are okay.
I guess so lah. I guess so.
Okay.
Like basically I was oblivious to it lah, right? And then only after that relationship, then I like towards the end, then I realized that wow shit, actually this is damn dark, yeah. And it takes you to a place where you really don't know how to it's very hard to navigate your own mind. I think it's crazy difficult to navigate depression with somebody else, especially if that person cannot provide that kind of support. And at the same time, I think you may constantly also feel like you don't want to burden somebody else.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But it's so complex, right? And also being alone can be very dangerous also. Yeah.
But so you mentioned that you were going through that and you weren't sure how to navigate it and all that, right? How could someone have supported you? Or like what do you think would have helped you, in hindsight?
The main thing that helped was talking to people. But the two avenues through which I could talk about it and really process my everything that I was going through was therapy, as well as like friends who are either depressed or have been through depression. Because some of the other friends that I talked to that have never gone through this or experienced this, right? And honestly, great for them, lucky for them, right? But those that have been through it really can understand. They see certain similarities and then they can tell you roughly like how they went through it lah.
Yeah.
The therapy helps you to break out of you're constantly thinking in circles because you're trapped in your own head.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So the therapist helps you to frame it in a more realistic.
No, she gives you like
Perspective.
clarity. Almost.
Yeah.
She breaks that. It's like when you're constantly in that loop, you're like spiraling. Then it just gets worse if you don't break out of it. So usually therapists, they will be able to understand like your thought process and what has led you to like thinking of all these things, and then she would give you reasons or create this awareness for you to break out of it.
And I think with relation to like the relationship component, I think if the relationship part of your life triggers the depression, regardless of how, right? Maybe you still think that this person is great and they're trying to be there and all that kind of thing for you, right? But if they are somehow a trigger for you, like at least for me personally, I would say step away from the relationship first. Because no matter what, even if it looks like f***ing sunshine, right? There's still something off about it that's triggering it, right? Then you need to remove it first and try to figure out what's wrong. It could be nothing wrong with that person, it's you and something that triggers you, but if it's somehow connected, I would say step away lah.
Was there a particular moment in that relationship while you were in it that you realized that this was a problem?
No lah, like the entire time I kind of knew that like it wasn't the healthiest relationship already, right? And then like within any toxic relationship, you'll kind of like bring out a very unhealthy side of a person lah, yeah. But there were specific instances or certain things that were said that really made me realize like, wow, how the can I trigger this in somebody else? And then a lot of times when you are fighting in a toxic relationship, it escalates. It escalates and then you cannot react the right way. And it's very hard to control. So then when you start to lose control, then I never beat anybody or anything. Okay. But you start to lose control, then you begin to really question, is there something wrong with me? Yeah.
Was this your first relationship?
No.
This guy's been around.
Very few relationships.
Stop right there. Very important question from all of us here. At what point do I tell my date that I got something wrong? Could be anything.
Could be anything. Could be
Anything.
a foot wart.
Yeah.
Comment down below, like, share, subscribe, and back to the episode.
Strange fungus on your nether regions.
Wow, don't tell me, sir.
No, but that's also one of the main reasons. Like I've been in very few relationships. So in that department, I've always felt that I haven't really matured emotionally in that sense or know how to be with somebody in a healthy relationship lah, for that matter. Yeah.
I'm also asking because, right, like in my first relationship was also a lot more unhealthy than my current one. So like what I didn't know at that point, because we were so young, right, was that she was struggling with mental health stuff. So it was after we broke up that like I think the next year or something that she got diagnosed with like multiple. But stuff that were toxic that were happening in the relationship at that point, I thought that, oh, maybe this is just how a relationship is supposed to go. Or maybe I'm really not contributing enough, or that, oh shit, like she sacrificed that for me. And then she's saying that, oh, I never done anything for her, that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
But it was like rooted in her own insecurity and stuff that she was struggling with in her own mind that ended up affecting me and the relationship very badly. So Like it was our first relationship, and then I also not sure what it's supposed to look like. And at that point of time, the concept of like struggling with mental health is not there also.
Yeah.
Yeah, so at times it's like such a not that I want to get back with her, but it's such a shame because I feel like if only we had known, right?
Yeah.
We could have dealt with it so much better and not hurt each other so much, you know?
Yeah. But that's the thing, right? Like with mental issues or any other personal issues for that matter, a lot of the times it's how much should you take on for your significant other. And at which point does it become take care of yourself first?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that is one of the hardest things to navigate. And also, just because you are the person's partner doesn't mean that you're going to be the best person to be able to help this person with that shit.
I haven't personally had to deal with this in my life, whether it's a relationship or friends. And I think that's a good thing because I kind of have a tendency to, when you guys were talking about like the guy wanting to be there and all that kind of stuff, I can kind of see myself in it a bit. I think there's a bit of a hero complex there. So I think that if someone were to tell me that they are facing a tough time, they have depression, I think my first natural instinct would be to let me come with you on this journey without actually knowing how hard it could be. If I were have to go on this journey, right, I would be in over my head.
Yeah, you take on more than
I
you
would
realize.
definitely take on more than I would realize, and then it would just not be good for me
Or
just
her.
not be good for her, and it could end up honestly worse than that. I'm not sure if I have it in me to be able to say like I'm
But-
not strong enough.
Okay,
or- yeah.
but then in a realistic situation, right? If say your wife says, you know what, I think I have depression or whatever, or I just went to see a therapist, blah blah blah, and I have all these problems, right? Then your reaction would really be like, I don't think I can do this.
No, you see, you just said that scenario, right? Right after what I said, right? And my first instinct still is like, we're gonna do this together.
The hero complex is too strong.
Even knowing that, lah.
Even knowing
Yeah.
that I don't know what I'm in for, my first instinct is to just say, I can't leave you to be alone. If you will allow me, I will want to come with you on this trip until my gas runs out.
Like the hope, the expectation is that 3 years down the line she'll be like, oh my god, you saved me.
Wow, that's damn selfish. Huh?
But what if the solution, like, or at least she's saying that I need you to step away?
So if anyone's depressed in my life, next time, I think I will have that compulsion to kind of help. What I need them to do is to make it very clear that maybe my help is not what they need at this point, maybe.
Right.
Or
Right.
is what not they need ever. lah.
Yeah.
It's not about me, it's about them. So just tell me that I don't have to be there.
What does it entail, right? Is it like a half an hour conversation every week? Is it that I need you? No. As in like just getting terms out lah. Because I think that helps.
No, I think you just
No, it's just a
establish it.
no, don't talk to me.
Say it's my wife. I will want to
My
be there
wife.
for you and I want to help you through this journey. But if there's any point in time, I would actually do what this guy did. lah.
Right.
Eventually, I'll do his complete playbook. Is if you feel like you need the space to go, you need the space to be alone and process things yourself, I'll step out.
But there must be a certain degree of like self-awareness, like introspection, like knowing your own feelings and your thoughts to like even articulate what you want from other people. Yeah, so ultimately people can say, oh, I want space, but actually that may not be what they actually want, you know what I mean? Maybe you can give them like a day or two, but actually they want you to talk to them also. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Wow. I feel so it doesn't have to be directly from the start, you know what I mean?
Back to the drawing board, Jared.
Like it's not like it's a
Which is why he didn't understand your every week 30 minutes thing.
Yeah.
Because in his head, it's like, oh, you tell me what you want exactly because you know. But they don't know.
They actually not
Sometimes
clear.
they don't know, or it constantly changes. And check, like one of the things we've learned having spoken to like therapists and this kind of thing, right, is like the whole check-in thing is actually super important.
Yeah.
Like hearing what you have shared, right? One thing that I don't understand is like, at which point is it just selfish? Because for me, if like say like somebody is like spiraling or whatever kind of shit, right? At what point, like at the beginning also I asked, like, do you have to think for yourself a little bit and care for yourself first
Right.
before putting this person before?
That was something that I was thinking about also. Like the question that I had in my head, okay, maybe a bit like cancelable or what, right? But like
Let's go.
Is it okay if I say I don't want to get together with this person because they are depressed or because they are struggling with some sort of mental health problem? Then, as in like, because I would imagine that if I'm in a relationship with
Wow, it's words. Break it down.
so in relationship with somebody, right? And then I realize that they're struggling with depression, I will feel that I then need to keep my problems to myself because either they're smaller or I don't want to add on to this burden that they're already dealing with. And then that becomes a very imbalanced relationship. What?
Wow.
Better?
Not bad.
Yeah, so then therefore I can say that I don't want to be in a relationship with someone who I know is struggling with this.
Yeah.
Then is that bad? You know, like it's
No, at all. I think we've established that that's not a cancelable offense.
Yeah, I don't think you should feel obligated to like be with someone or like just because they have depression, or to reject someone just because they have like depression.
But if you're Jared though, you want to save them.
No, but at the same time, right, then are we not like in a sense segregating or saying that, oh, people who struggle with mental health conditions, right, just have to live with the fact that like they have to get over it, like if not, they will just not get together with anybody because you're struggling with something that you cannot control.
But the thing is, maybe you may not want to be with someone with depression because you're responsible enough to know that I cannot tolerate, I cannot handle it, I cannot help this person.
So what you're saying is that people who get together with depressed people are irresponsible?
No, it's not. I mean, like
No, if you feel like you can handle it, then okay lah.
If you have the capacity, then you can. But if you know yourself and you know that you cannot,
Yeah, but the flip side that I get stuck at is just that like I don't want to make this person feel like they are less than capable to be in a relationship or to love someone else because they themselves are struggling with something.
And also in reality, what that looks like is that you wouldn't know that they have depression until they tell it to you. And so this could be the third date, fourth date, and then they finally found the courage. Oh my God, I like you so much. I really need to tell you this. I'm depressed. And then the next date, you're like,
What?
yeah. And then you go, oh
And
my
you're only
God.
telling me now?
Yeah. Can you
It's like
imagine
a first
that?
date kind of thing.
Why isn't this on your profile? My reaction is, I want to save you.
Yeah, you see?
Wait, you're depressed? Wait, more?
So the good news is that regardless of what mental health issue you're going through, there's going to be saviors and there's going to be people that will run away from your life. And so it will all like net like work out.
Horrible terms on both ends.
Hey, all you people.
Hey, all you people.
Hey, all you people, will you listen to me?
Who listens to Pineapple Under the Sea?
Okay, so hi everybody. We're going to be doing a new segment on this channel. It's going to be a live stream, our very first live stream. And we're going to do a mukbang, which is basically we're going to eat and talk over some good food, some really, really good food.
And we have a special guest. Who could it be? Stay tuned to find out. There's also more information down in the description below, so do check it out. And join us next week while I'm out of breath.
Okay, see y'all soon.
I too had like a momentary brief like stint of falling into depression, and I also had other friends that were going through the same thing at different periods of time. So like I kind of came out of it already, and then I had friends who were falling into it. And so what we did was we would have weekly calls. Like it was just 1 hour on a Saturday, and we would set it. So like every week we would just check in like that, because to me it's very hard to like, either for me, if I'm no longer depressed, but my friend is, for me to go, hey, like, how are you? Because I don't want to feel as though I am triggering anything new. Maybe they're having a great day and now suddenly they have to talk about the bad shit they're going through. And then for that person also, it may feel as though, like, I don't want to suddenly bring something out of the blue because maybe I'm disturbing you. So by setting a time, right, it feels as though, okay, this is the time where we bring up stuff because we know it's set. And to me, that's a little bit more structured, and I feel like it's easier to bring up stuff than to just randomly text like, hey, how's it going?
Actually, what I'm afraid of is that maybe if I sense, like they haven't told me explicitly, but I sense that they might be going through depression. Like as someone from the outside, how do I even get on the inside? Do I wait for them to tell me? Or is there something else that I can do?
Send a menu, like the checklist. Like, so this week, what do you think you prefer? Want to go out? Or you want to just talk? Want to ignore me?
I feel like if it's the first time you're approaching the topic of like mental health or whatever, or just checking because of mental health, I feel like it's about just saying, hey, look, like if it's nothing, just let me know. But like just notice that maybe you look a little bit down or low on energy. Just wanted to check in, is everything okay? I feel like that kind of just gives an in, and then that person will just be like, yeah, it's all good. Maybe like just being a bit busy, but it's all good.
Yeah.
creates
Then
that
ask, like,
opening.
Ask ChatGPT for prompters
Yeah.
to open up conversation, to talk to somebody who's feeling down.
Oh my god.
No, but here's the thing, right? What if they just are trying to hide it and then they say it's all good? See, my hero complex is trying to come out again.
So you see, right? There will definitely be times when you will encounter this. And maybe that person is just at that point of time not ready.
Yeah.
But what matters is that you're consistently there for them so that when they are ready, they can open up. And how you choose to prompt also, I mean, this one you can finesse a little bit, right? You could be asking about different aspects of their life first, just to maybe feel around for where an issue might stem from or whatever, and then slowly dig into those aspects deeper and then get them to open up a bit here and there.
Yeah.
A lot of the time, I will be talking to my close friends, or like maybe I meet people that I feel that maybe they can understand me better, or I feel like I would like to hear their opinion about my problems. Then I will open up, which is something that I actually had to learn over time. Because as a child, I wouldn't speak about anything about like anything I was feeling. Basically, I was just this like jar, and then there's like a seal, and
Like a baby seal?
You mean baby shark?
Why?
I think it was the way I was brought up. Yeah, a lot of the time, I didn't really have an opinion. I wasn't allowed to have an opinion, and basically whatever opinion I had was wrong, and that was like instilled in me.
Okay.
Yeah, so I felt that kind of affected me in a sense where it's very hard for me to like talk to people or converse properly sometimes. Yeah, but I'm still learning, like I started learning how to have like social interactions. I was like telling Denise how like I really didn't have friends as a kid. I just play with myself, like trying to catch butterfly.
Growing up quick.
Not that.
Oh, so that's what not having friends is
As in,
like.
I would just go. No.
Yeah, butterflies.
I would catch like butterflies at the field by myself, or like I hang out with my grandfather. But will I hang out with people my age? Not really.
Were there any like moments in your life where you kind of like learned how to communicate better with people?
When her father sent her to the market.
Yeah.
What?
My father would send me to like the wet market
Uh-huh.
as a child, and then because you have to buy things from like the aunties and the uncles, right? And he will always do this to me, where he will give me like a set sum of money, and then he will be like, okay, the prawns, right? It's like $12 per kilo. If he charge you like $14, right? You tell him you want $12 per kilo. You negotiate with him. You haggle. And I was like, I can barely talk to this uncle or auntie. I'm like damn shy. You want me to haggle? Like it's like stressed like me.
Hey, wait, you were how old at this point?
Wow, I think I was 8, 9.
Shit.
Oh.
That's
Wow.
scary. That's scary.
You go alone?
Yeah, I go
To the
alone.
market?
Yeah.
Shit.
damn.
That's scary.
9 years old, I go where by myself?
9 years old, I scared to even order McDonald's. Yeah.
Wow, 9 years
9
old,
you
can
can
order
eat
McDonald's. Yeah.
I was having Happy Meals since 6.
Oh, baller.
That's why I'm balding.
Baller to
Oh, no. This message was not brought to you by McDonald's.
Yeah, but we
It's not
love
yet.
McDonald's call us.
Oh, shit. Oh my god.
So those interactions, then you go and you started to like talk to old people.
Yeah. Like
Then you really can get $12.
Wow, it feels like we unlocked like a really traumatic part of our life. Yeah.
Cry, then the guy just throw prawns at her.
And he's like
Free.
I think the person, the auntie or the uncle, right, can realize that I'm getting very, very stressed. Then because I will call my dad, then I'll say, he's really not giving me $12 per kg.
Oh, now 9 years old got phone.
Sorry. Yeah.
Or she's just shouting. So like, I mean, like hearing what Charlene has shared, right, about like growing up and struggling a bit with like her mental health and that, I'm wondering whether like you feel like that has affected your partners or caused some form of like imbalance in any of the romantic relationships that you've been in.
I mean, for sure it does like affect like the partners that I've been with. So to be honest, when I'm getting to know someone, I tell them straight up, like, this is what I'm going through. And to be honest, I'm just giving them an out. Like, if you know that you cannot handle it or something that you don't want to have in your life at this present moment, then don't be with me. You know? Like, unless you say like you want to try. But even when...
He's being activated.
Something is.
He almost showed his uniform.
You know, you got the 4 code word that like come on, he like hearing it.
Where's the telephone booth?
I mean, if the person decides that, okay, I want to walk this through with you, but I would just be very, very practical with them that, to be honest, not a lot of people can handle it or handle my emotions.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you know whether this is self-awareness or self-sabotage?
Yeah, because in my head when I heard
I
that also,
understand.
I'm questioning whether it's an out for them or an out for you.
Yeah.
To be okay, so this
Levels of this show.
Own self say own self.
I don't think I'm like self-sabotaging myself, but I feel that I'm being responsible in
Right.
that sense because the person could just be infatuated with me, like that he likes the idea of me or maybe how I look or like seeing how I interact with people. Maybe that's attractive to him, but he doesn't know the real me. But that's why he's getting to know me. Yeah, which is like 2 different sides of me, right?
Yeah. No, but the fact that like you feel the need to squeeze all this up front, right? Instead of let him get to know you naturally. You know what I mean?
Something that I learned through like therapy was the reason why I got into a lot of like relationships when I was younger was because I was trying to fill this void like within me where I didn't feel like loved. So I was finding that person, you know, to like love me. But I realized like they can't or they don't, you know.
No, I think that's something that a lot of people go through because like unless you have that group of people or those individuals that you can connect with and then they start to help you, like both of you have those exchanges and you start to get deeper and like it's almost like introspection but with another person, right? Like some people don't even know how to introspect.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then that it's almost like ignorance to a certain level, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but then you can go the other extreme and you be so self-reflective that you just live in your own brain.
Yeah, which
And
is
then-
also unhealthy lah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta
So
find the
it's-
right balance. I
Yeah,
guess.
but a lot of people don't even know how to process these things.
That's fair.
Yeah, and I do think that like when people say ignorance is bliss, some people can go through life without ever having to deal with any of these things. I don't know whether there's a better life or a worse life, but forever lah, right? no, I really see some stupid ignorant right? They just go through life, right? And they really don't know jack shit. They don't process anything. They don't care.
Yeah. But they are
And
very
they seem-
attractive.
Huh?
Oh,
No, I feel like
Because they're not burdened down.
I'm trying to think of I'm trying to think of the guys and girls that I know, right, that I would say have risk. have game, you know, and the ones always the ones, right, that live their lives like not caring about anything. They have zero attachment to their actions and their world. It's just they go with the flow and they just are so attractive in that.
but are
like,
you just seeing these people from a distance, or do you know people like that?
perhaps, but they always get all the damn hot girls.
Yeah,
No,
you
but
see
is that
them
all
just
there is to life?
superficial?
Yeah.
It might be empty and superficial also, right?
Perhaps, but I feel like there is something in there because they are not overthinkers. They don't like get bogged up over like how that person said this thing this way. Did they meant it this way or this way? And then you
Yeah.
get so obsessed with that, right, that you can't even live. And then when you are out with your friends, you're not even present because someone said something earlier and you're offended by it and you're still thinking about it the whole time as opposed to just living carefree.
But I don't think it's that, no. I think it's more of when I ask you why you did something and you cannot explain why. When I ask you why you make certain choices in life and you don't understand why. Or takeaways from experiences. Because
But must I have those? You know, like as in, it feels to me 2 like very different extremes, right? Like one is like a very simple life, right, where I do what makes me happy, and if I'm enjoying it, right, I continue doing it. It doesn't need to have a specific purpose or like a very deep reason why I'm doing it, and there is such joy in that, which I feel like a lot of people, right, who feel like they have complicated their lives are looking for that. But on the other hand, there is that like when you've kind of like opened your mind to like different experiences and understanding, like say like different cultures or whatever, right, and then being able to have a deeper like exploration with life. It's like 2 very different lives, right?
Yeah.
But I think at the end of the day, it's just what you're into.
you
What
know,
makes you happy lah?
Yeah.
I get what you mean. No, that's why I asked the
Yeah.
question whether
Yeah.
it's better to be ignorant or is
Yeah.
it better to truly understand and be and introspect and process things.
As someone who self-proclaims to be introspective, don't know if true or not, I feel very bogged down by it. I feel like it makes me more stationary, more paralyzed by things because I am so consumed by the thought of like every action, things that I've done before. Like I said, like I think in the previous episode, like having Sunny just be completely shocked by like a regret that I made or like said or whatever. That happened so much that I wish I was more ignorant. And I don't know how that will affect the people around me. But I think there was a point in time where I used to be very, very, very obsessed and overthought about my place in my group of friends. Because I always felt like, oh no, like I didn't hang out this time. Am I losing like favor with my friends? Or like I said something wrong at this point in time. Shit, did I lose favor with my friends? And I used to be so obsessed with it that it actually made me less close to them. Because every time I was with them, I felt like I had to put on something. I had to achieve something in this gathering so that I can increase my favor with my friends.
Yeah.
And then when I stopped caring, we suddenly became so much closer.
Yeah.
Like
I actually came across this, I can't remember which podcast it was, but this person was talking about something very interesting, which was that you don't mix up action and reflection in the same steps.
Right.
Always split the two. Take action first, don't think too much. Do. Then then you reflect, because that's where you learn.
Right.
But when you put the two together, it gets very jumbled up, it gets messy, you overthink everything, and then you end up, like what you mentioned, like paralyzed and whatnot.
That's a good point, actually.
So breaking it down into 2 steps and approaches, I think that's something that I took away from it.
Okay, so thank you for watching today's episode, and thank you if you are here, if you stayed to the end, comment down below. I've stayed till the end and I love it.
Even if you didn't.
Yeah, even if you didn't. Like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next episode. Bye bye.
Nice.
2 hand waves, because it also doubles up as applause.
I want to learn how to do ass claps, yeah.
What's an
All the
ass
girls
clap?
that their ass them big, then they can wiggle until their ass
Yeah. Damn loud.
loud. I want to try.
Like actual loud.
Yeah.
YouTube that.
Like you watch TikTok, then they react to the video. Then this girl dance, then
Pow.
I'm sure there's someone off screen clapping.
No, dude, you can see from behind. I don't know how nowadays butt's so big, right? You can see the butt cheek, the bottom of the butt cheek from the front.
Huh?
Yeah, you can see the butt cheek from the front, clap in the middle. It's crazy, man.